It's reeling from the impact of all the sanctions. The ruble plunging to an all-time low of nearly 30% against the dollar. 1 ruble equal to less than a penny of American money. Here to break it all down for us is host of Varney and Company, an American Built on Fox Business, Stewart Varney. So, Stewart, these sanctions are working.
Absolutely, they're working. Putin, domestically, is in really big trouble. You just pointed out that the ruble is collapsing. You know, you've got to be careful about the words you use, but it is accurate to use that word in this instance. The ruble is collapsing, cut in half its value. You know what that means? Everything that goes into Russia, everything they import, goes up dramatically in price. So they've got an inflation problem. The banks in Russia can't transfer money around to each other like they used to, or overseas. Result, you've got people lined up at banks in Russia over the weekend trying to get their money out. You're about to see a run on the banks. The stock market in Russia will be closed today. That means you can't get your money out. Russia is in danger of freezing up at a time of maximum inflation. That is a huge domestic problem for Putin, as you can see from all these demonstrations. What was it, 170 arrested last week or something? Now it's in the thousands. That is a domestic problem which is about to explode. Now, I want to make the point there's a ripple effect over here, because what's happening there has an effect on us here. For example, energy prices going up because energy comes out of Russia and there's a shortage of supply. Gas prices in America are now at $3.61. That's the national average for regular. That's up 25 cents in a month. That's inflation. The price of wheat on the Chicago Exchange overnight up another 7%. It's up 30% so far this year. That means food price inflation starts on a new round here at home. It's Putin's fault. He did it, and the sanctions are working. They, and to some degree, we are in trouble.
We learned yesterday that Ukraine and Russia were going to be in talks this morning. It's afternoon there in Belarus. We have some live video of what's going on there. But you have, Putin has reduced the world's energy. He gave into the new Green Deal and all these socialists, Stewart. He closed the Keystone Pipeline. Last year he imported, you brought this to our attention last week, 232 barrels of oil from Russia, 1 million from Iran, over 600 million from OPEC. How big of a factor do his policies in Russia affect us here in the U.S.?
Biden is helping Putin. Biden reduced the supply of energy coming into America. No more fracking. Well, you know what happened. The pipeline was closed down. Don't build any more pipelines. 6 pipeline projects out of Michigan on hold at the moment. So he has reduced energy supplies in America at the same time that gives Putin a great deal of leverage over there.
Right.
I honestly think that tomorrow night at the State of the Union message, our president should stand up and say, we're going to build Keystone. We're going to build more. Reverse it.
Yep.
Reverse it. Now, he won't do it, but that's what he should do in America's interests and the interests of the world.
The majority of Americans would support that.
Absolutely they would.
Because our gas prices would go down and all of those people who used to work for Keystone that are out of work now would have jobs.
It would signal that we're prepared to go back and produce energy that the world needs.
Right. Jen Psaki is pushing renewable energy to stop the dependence on foreign oil. Shouldn't Biden say, let's produce more oil here in the U.S., then we can supply oil to our allies?
Yes, of course. That's what should be done now. Maybe a temporary hold on the Green New Deal, a temporary hold on rejecting fossil fuels, because we really need them now.
And that would make the environmentalists and all the progressives happy, maybe, or at least give some sort of a compromise. I will focus on that later, but right now we're in dire straits.
You will never get the environmentalists to agree to using more fossil fuels. Just in the short, they will never agree to it.
What will he
it's
say
religion on their part.
What do you think he will say in the State of the Union tomorrow in regards to Russia, Ukraine, energy prices?
I think he'll maybe point to some optimism. You've got peace talks going on. The coalition that we arranged is working. The sanctions are working. Optimistic about the future. We can get through this together. That's what I think he will say. I wish he would say the opposite.
Thank you, Stewart.